Alright, so we're looking for... No, Ellis Hill was his name. Now, you may be remembering Ellis Hill from up in the airport, right?
Yeah, he was the real Ellis Hill.
Exactly. As I said before, we need to speak with the real Ellis Hill.
Huh.
If you think back to what we discovered, you might be wondering how exactly that's supposed to be possible.
Yeah, wasn't he dead?
He is. Yo, Ellis! Hey. The Confession of Ellis Hill.
Need the area to load in properly. On computer.
Damn it, he has a lot of notes.
Yeah, he passes them out like candy at Halloween. I suppose I can read it while we wait for your computer to catch up?
Yeah, now I can pick it up. I can pick it up now. So yeah, just read.
Right. Read the note dropped by the ghost. For some reason I can't right now. Maybe I'll move away and it'll work.
He's over here if you need him.
There we go. The Confession of Ellis Hill. I didn't have to write this. Hell, the sailors would never approve. But where I come from, you put a man in the ground, you owe him an explanation for why. Even if it's just a note written on a piece of paper that you tore from a notebook you found in said dead man's pocket. And it's about respect. My mom always taught me how important that was. Ellis Hill, I didn't know you. Fact is, the only thing I knew about you were your job and your address. In a pinch, I could have phoned home and gotten any details I wanted. Your habits, the names of your pets, your first love, anything. We may not be as connected as our landlocked brethren, but when you make a living selling information, you get really good about harvesting it. It's funny though, in this day and age, how details can get lost in the noise. Take us. You were the new engineer at the airport, and your uniform was the only one I even had the slightest chance of fitting into. The only guy who was within the age bracket I could pull off. I was even ready for the beard. I had a story all prepared in my mind about my first shaven years. Oh no. And in all that preparation, all that time spent getting ready to take over your identity, nobody ever mentioned you were a white boy. Ellis, let me tell you how it shocked me the first time I saw you through my binoculars. I didn't know whether to be proud or furious. And on the one hand, it says a lot about progress in the world, but nobody even thinks that is an important detail. Jesse Jackson would be proud. On the other hand, it made my job a lot harder. A white man turning into a black man. At some point in the process of interviewing for your new job, somebody local must have met you. I'd never been big on worrying though. I figured that would be a river I would cross when I came to it. What happened next? Well, you know, I waited for you on the road to the airport, waved you down in your rusty truck, asked for your help. I always had strong hands, but strength has never been the most important thing in a strangling. Endurance counts too. You gotta hold yourself steady and count the beats. You gotta be like a mast in a storm, moving with the struggles, bending but never breaking. You struggled, I remember, drumming your heels against the door of the truck, fists and elbows flailing. I could see it on your face, that feeling of helplessness. You knew what was coming, and you knew you didn't have the power to stop it. Your eyes, they want to know why. The worst thing about strangling, Ellis, is that it ain't nothing like Hollywood makes it out to be. You see, the first thing people do is pass out. That makes them easier to manage. But if you stop strangling, they start breathing again. The body wants to live. I respect that. There's a period of silence where nobody's fighting back, and I'm just a man crushing the light out of your body. It takes minutes, but it feels like hours. Give a man time to think, to reflect. It's not about strength anymore, but mental toughness. You're gonna have a powerful belief or a powerful anger to get through that. I was never angry with you, Ellis, but I am a believer. I believe that you needed to die so I could get on with my business here. I nursed you until it was over, and then I threw you in the back of my truck and got to burying you. I've seen enough in this dark world to know that you might come back. If you do, I can't say I would want to meet you, but I wrote this so you know how things stand. There's a fog rolling over Sullivan Island. Dark days are coming. I might have done you a favor.
Huh. I cannot really summon any hate for this guy who actually sort of apologizes for... yeah.
He's a professional, if you will. Just another job for him. Still, kinda creepy. Once upon a time, there was a note, written on a page torn from the notebook in a dead man's pocket. Yo ho, Mr. Hills, Mr. Hills. Oh, won't you confess? Wait, who are you? Why are your innards so purple?
Now we have to locate the car.
Right, follow me. Get to the airport.
Remember to look out for bear traps.
Yeah, that went less than well last time, I remember. Let's see if the road splits. Oh, over here. Let's just do some impromptu crossing.
That is.
Yep.
Nope, it's further in. It's the.
Oh, right, that's fine. Didn't know she meant the car outside. Yeah, it's almost here. Should be right inside this hangar here. Let's see, what's the entrance? Right, found it!
Examine proof of the confession. Okay.
Uh-oh, what? Jesus!
Whoop! Yeah.
Here we go again! Whoop! Ow.
Right, I'll just start reading my report then, shall I?
Examine the proof of the confession, it says.
Yes, so you have to do that and then get out without getting blown smithereens.
So in
Right.
other words, I have to go up and touch the car, yeah.
Right, so this is the third story that purely involves non-supernatural elements. If I remember correctly.
Well, there is Alice Hill who's going around passing his notes.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty supernatural. But besides that, I mean, we could have found the note on his corpse in real life. Anyway, fake Ellis Hill writes a love letter to dead Ellis Hill. That's one creepy Phoenician fucker. You might want to watch yourself around him, especially if he offers you a hug. Don't worry, I'm expecting management to finish surveillance on him soon. Then we'll send you in to demonstrate what the pointy part of the pyramid is for.
Wow.
Oh, God. You know what? I won't mind doing that, boss. I won't mind at all.
Some things did. Some things die, so others may live. The world has always been like this. If real like Ellis Hill had been an antelope and the other a lion, would you feel outraged? The models we are building count you as variables. Does it make you uncomfortable to think that if you died for many in the dragon, you would be a -1 that needed to be accounted for in the models? Yeah, that does make me kind of uncomfortable.
Yeah.
See, there the dragon illustrates exactly the thing that makes them douchebags.
Yeah.
Basically doing the Stalin thing there, you know.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Remember what Stalin said? If one person dies, it's a tragedy. If 1 million people die, it's a statistic.
Yeah. I mean, at least with the Illuminati, their whole capitalistic philosophy at least allows for some variety. My boss saved my life, or, well, at least spared me a major headache, and she put her own career at risk for that. There is room for people. The good doctor, for example, works there. Is a funny fella, even if he wants to jam a camcorder into my head. There's room for that. The dragon is just like this big machine dedicated to this end goal that's just reducing everything to an impersonal number that can be adjusted. Just like that.
Plus, does anyone even know what the fuck their end goal actually is?
Nope. No idea.
So as far as I understood, it's to find the perfect equation. That is, to understand the model of universe to the point where they know everything and can predict everything. So we'll know where to put a minus and where to put a plus to make everything work out all okay. Kind of creepy when you think about it. Rana?
I just want to say before I read mine, I need to ask you guys a question. What would the purpose be if you knew everything?
Well, if you know everything, you can do everything, because you would know how to do anything.
Well, if you ask me, it would sort of take the spirit out of life, but yeah. That's just how I think. Oh well. Here we have the Templars. Well, that was disturbing. But we're gonna win that. Our organization doesn't pretend to be spotless. Our colors include red for a reason. And that I can respect. Not the fact that it is red, but the fact that he can admit it. But we don't derive sick fascination from describing the details of a man's death. If it wasn't clear before, we know that Ellis Hill is a Venetian agent. What we're still trying to figure out is what he wants. When the reckoning comes for that monster, we'll let you handle the suspension of justice.
Right. So, at this point particular, the Illuminati and the Templars agree. That guy is...
At some point you're gonna kill the fucker.
Because he's sick in the head.
I also like the fact that Sonic also admits to the fact that, well, we have red for a reason. We have bled a lot of blood.
That's something I can admire the Templars for. They admit that they've done some really stupid shit in their history.
Hey, look,
Yeah.
I didn't know I had this.
Oh, that's cool.
Bloodstained police jacket.
I
Ah,
also
cool.
have that one.
Right.
Oh, that's disgusting.
Let's move on, shall we, to the next and final spooky story. Rare monster time! Dunwich Road Horror.
Okay, got it.
I just noticed him. Mind you, he's probably not going to be that difficult. But we'll get an achievement. Whee! Also, wasn't there a H.P. Lovecraft story about the Dunwich Horror?
Correct.
Right. And we are at Dunwich Road, so that is the Dunwich Road Horror. Clever, clever. Let's move on. We have a spooky story to get to.